I am told there's nothing quite like a man in uniform, except maybe two men in uniform.
Did you pre-read that? But does the uniform make the man, or is it the other way around? That's the question explored in Let's Be Cops, where two friends playing at dressing up inadvertently become policemen. Our movie man, Jason Jabba Davis, has this movie in his sights. Morning to you, Jabs. Oh,
morning, guys.
Is it not funny?
As you were talking about people in uniform, I thought of great cop buddy films we've talked about on the show before. The Heat, Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy last year, or earlier this year, hilarious film. 22 Jump Street, hilarious film. This film, not hilarious. I will confess, I'll be completely honest here, I saw the first 15 minutes of this film on the plane back from the States and fell asleep. And I've tried to
Were you tired?
Get excited. Not really. Wasn't really tired. They brought me my meal shortly after Mr. Davis. Would you like a meal? I thought yes, and then I watched something else. I watched Catch Me If You Can, you know, some old film.
Okay.
Let's take a very quick look at a very mediocre comedy, probably be #1 at the box office this week. Let's Be Cops.
Why don't you tell us what's going on here?
She trying to get with my man behind my back.
Give me the phone. Just
Yo, what you doing?
Stop! I will be reading the part of DeAndre. You read Jaquanda. What are you doing?
Eating soup, trying to lose some weight and stuff.
Girl, you ain't gotta lose.
Thank you.
Cause you fine as wine.
Look, DeAndre, don't be texting me again, okay?
You see?
Unless you want to get them up in my guts.
Oh, that's it! That's it! Control the situation! That's what you get! That's what you get!
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I think if you like movies
Say no
like
more.
Big Mama's House, you'll probably love this.
Oh, terrific.
I wasn't a big fan.
Star rating.
No stars this week. I'm just
Unless you're an insomniac, in which case
Exactly
5
right.
stars, because it'll help you
it's
get
the
to
opposite
sleep.
of no dose.
You know,
Something.
they talk about men in uniform.
Yes.
You know, it's always cops or army or...
What other uniforms are there?
Well, you could be a contract cleaner, for example.
Yeah,
Do people
where
go,
all the-
ooh,
yeah.
man,
Bus drivers?
uniform."
Sexy
Well, on the
bus
buses,
driver.
that was pretty
Bus
sexy.
driver.
Or speed. Was a bus driver in that?
Speed. yeah,
Sexy?
yeah. Speed. The modern take on the bus.
This is one of the weeks where I just think, thank God I had Jennifer Aniston to be able to play that
How
trump
often
card,
have you
because
thought
this
that?
week it's a bit average. We're in between Interstellar, one of the biggest films of the year, and obviously Gone Girl, which has been massive. Next week is The Hunger Games. This is a film they've slipped into the schedule. It's James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano's last film. Tom Hardy's in it, Noomi Rapace is in it. The bad thing about this film is that it says comes to us from the writer of Mystic River, and what they should have put in there, based
it's
on a
nothing
short
like-
story by the guy. So maybe a short film would have worked. This is The Drop. Not so great. Margaret and David, 4 stars.
Really?
For me, 2.5 stars.
Gee, that's throwing
Really?
down the gauntlet. You are asking people to judge who they trust more.
Yeah.
Margaret
Well,
Ballmer
who's
as
still got a
David
job?
Stratton or Jabba?
Who's on the dole queue? Not me.
David Stratton didn't fall asleep during Let's Be Cops.
He gave that 1 star, so he did make it all the way
and
through.
has he interviewed Jennifer Aniston recently?
Not lately. I think he did for
No.
Horrible Bosses 1, but not Horrible Bosses 2. Next week, The Hunger Games, and it's a very divisive one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Just back to Horrible Bosses 2.
Yes.
What did you think of that
The
one?
follow-up to the hilarious Horrible Bosses.
Yeah.
In cinemas in December. We'll
So
talk about that very
We're
soon.
going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Aren't you going to do a review now?
No,
We had
it's
the
not
interview
out.
today.
No, we brought that hot off the presses. Jennifer Aniston. You got Jolie in the country. I thought, let's get all Brad Pitt's love interests on the show in the same week.
Well, just to put this in context, Mon claimed that it was a better film than Citizen Kane, right? And then
shorter.
I asked Jabba what it's like, and he goes, "Yeah, it's funny."
If you need a comedy, Horrible Bosses 1 and 2 will do it for you. I'm not sure about the third one. That might not be any good.
No,
but
they shouldn't do a third.
We'll
I
talk
haven't
about the
seen
second one
two,
in a few
but-
weeks' time. But next week, Hunger Games.
Yeah, Hunger Games.
That's massive.
Yeah, that's massive.
That is massive.
So
Well,
Horrible
till
Bosses
Let's Be Cops
2
again
is-
comes along.
No, okay, I'm over it. Thank you, Jabs.
Our special edition of Weekend Sunrise with all of the latest pictures and very little analysis of G20 right after this.